Okay. Hey, what's up, guys? Um, Welcome back to the stream. Welcome, one viewer, whoever that is. Welcome to the stream, and yeah, welcome to a game called Everlasting Summer. This is a very to the point title, Everlasting Summer. A bit of a backstory before we get into it is this game is I played this like 3 years ago, and the only reason I played this was it was free to play, of course, and second, it was in my recommended. And I was like, you know what, let's just try it. It's gonna happen. And I played it for 6 minutes, and I was super into the game. I wanted to play it again, but then I changed computers, and then I really completely forgot about that. And in my library, in my Steam library, it was at the extreme bottom. And I was like, damn, I need to play this game again because this is the game that brought me, into playing visual novels. Like I've played a lot of visual novels, and this is the first one. So it would be a kind of disrespect and kind of injustice towards this game to not play this game if I really enjoyed it that much. So you know what, we're gonna play it right now. So let's start. I just love the music whenever these visual novels pick a perfect music kit. I was having the dream once again. That dream. Same thing every night. But it's all forgotten in the morning, as usual. Maybe it's for the best. Only a glimpse of memory will remain of gates, half opened, as if inviting me somewhere, with two frozen stone pioneers standing close by. And also that strange girl, who keeps asking me, will you come with me? Come? But where? And why? And where am I anyway? Of course, if it all happened in real life, I would certainly have been scared. Well, what else would one expect to feel? But this is just a dream. The same one I see every night. There must be a reason. You don't have to know where or why to realize something is really happening. Something desperately seeking my attention. Since everything that surrounds me here is real as things in my own flat, I could open the gates, hear the hinges creak, brush the crumbling rust away with my hand, inhale the fresh cool air and shiver from the cold. I could, but to do that, I would need to pick myself up, take a step, move my hand. But this is a dream. I understand that, but what of it? What does my understanding change? Because here it's just like on the other side of the cracked screen of an old TV, which struggles to fight against static noise and strives to show its audience everything without missing a single detail. But the picture is getting blurry. I must be waking up soon. I see an owl over there. Can I click on it? Oh, no. Maybe I should ask her something. The girl. What's her name? About the stars? Why? What? Okay. Why the stars though? Yeah. I'd rather ask about the gates. Yes, the gates. Gates. Ask about the gates. She would be so surprised. Or better, why the dot over an I was called a little, but the dot over a J was called a superscript dot. I didn't know that was a thing. Nice letters, as if they don't exist anymore. Still, what do letters, gates, and stars have to do with this place? I don't know, because even if I'm having this dream every night, which will be forgotten soon anyway, I've got to look for answers here and now. And there, if you look carefully, you can see the Magellanic clouds behind, yeah, as if I ended up in the southern hemisphere. In a dream, there are the small things that catch your attention: an unnatural color of grass, impossible curves of straight lines, or your own distorted reflection, with the real danger. While the real danger, which could put an end to everything right here and now, seems trivial. It's natural since here you cannot die. I know it for sure. I've done it hundreds of times. It's true you can't die in your dream, But if you cannot die, is there a point in living? I should ask the girl. She's a local. She should know. Yes, exactly. I should ask her about the owl, for example. Yeah, this one. One strange bird it is. Though it doesn't matter. Will you come with me? And every time I have to answer. It's the only way, otherwise the dream will never end and I will never wake up. I love that. Yes, I'll come with you. No, I'll stay here. You know what? I'll come with you. Let's see what you got. Every time it's so hard to decide on the answer. What am I? What am I doing here? Who is she? And why does so much in my life depend on this answer? Or maybe it doesn't. It's just a dream after all. Just a dream. Nice start, I would say. Good prologue. Oh wait, is this not the prologue? Yeah, it was the prologue. Okay. Keyboard. Typing noises. Okay. Why is it so blurry? Okay. What is that thing? Wait, what is that? Oh, it's a 4chan thingy. Is it a parody of 4chan? Because it says 2chan. It should be, or is it 8chan? I don't see. I just see a 2 over here. A 2chan. Okay. The computer screen stared at me as if it was alive. Sometimes it really did seem to me that it was conscious of itself, had its own thoughts and wishes, ambitions, that it had feelings, could love and suffer. As if in our relationship, the screen wasn't an instrument. It was me who was a lifeless piece of plastic and textulite. There is some truth in that, probably because the computer provides 90% of my communication with the outside world. That's true. Anonymous image boards, some chats from time to time, rarely ICQ or Jabber, the forums even more rarely. This is back in 2013, right? Where forums, chatting on forums was a big thing, which still is now. I'm not trying to mock it or something, but it was really good way of communication back then, and it's losing its way somehow. Not as much. Reddit is still alive, but it was way bigger earlier than it is now. People on the other end of the internet cable simply do not exist. All of them are simply creations of its sick imagination, an error in the source code or a kernel bug which started living a life of its own. Or do you mean the computer? Nice theory though. Oh god, what is that? Is that a chandelier? Yeah, the small one. I don't know what you call it. Ceiling lamp. If one looked at my existence from the outside, such thoughts would seem crazy, and a psychologist would surely give me a bunch of sophisticated diagnosis and maybe write me a doctor's referral to the loony bin. True, not gonna lie. It's morning, isn't it? Yep. He slept on his computer desk. Whoever this guy is. A small apartment with no signs of repair or any semblance of order in it, and always the same view out of the window on the grey megalopolis running somewhere day and night. Such are the conditions of my life. Such are the conditions of everybody's life, right? Okay, you wake up, you're in the window and feel like, oh, why are we here? Just to suffer. And it cannot be more true. Okay, Well, of course, it didn't all start like this. I was born. You know what? Wait a second. It's getting pretty much loud for me. Yeah, I think it should be better now. Okay. I was born, went to school, and finished it like all the others. I was accepted at a university where I spent a year and a half trailing behind and struggling. I drifted through several jobs. Sometimes it was working out quite well. Sometimes I was even getting decent money from it. But it all felt like it was not mine, as if taken from another man's biography. I wasn't living life to its fullest. It was looping over and over in monotonous circles, like in the movie Groundhog Day. Oh, sorry, I don't know. I haven't watched it. It's just that I had no choice in how to spend my day, and every day repeated itself, the same vicious spiral, a spiral of emptiness, misery, and despair. Oh, he's talking some deep shit, man. That's too much for me. For the last few years, I think I remember the reason I stopped playing this, because I was a kid and I'm like, dude, I don't understand a lot of this shit, but I was still playing through it. For the last few years, and now that I'm grown up and now that I'm trying to figure out my life, it's very relatable. Like, yeah, it's you don't know what you're doing. Simple as that. For the last few years, I just sat in front of the screen all day. Yep, that's what I'm doing. Sometimes there were menial jobs. Sometimes my parents helped me. All in all, I was able to provide for myself. No wonder really, since my needs are quite minor. I hardly ever leave my home, and my communication with other people almost exclusively consists of online correspondence with the anonymous, who have no real name, no gender, no age. So, in brief, a quite typical life of a quite typical antisocial person of his time. Kind of Donnie Darko on a minor scale, without doomsday related visions. Maybe some highly respected author will write a novel about me, and it will become a contemporary classic of modern literature. Nice words, bro, nice words. But I will write one myself. However, what's the point of fooling myself? I tried many times but couldn't even come up with a simple short story. I tried to learn many other things as well. Not gifted enough to draw. Programming got bored. Foreign languages takes too much time. The only thing I loved doing was reading, but I still never would have called myself a scholar. Perhaps I was an ace at watching anime and a grandmaster of lame internet jokes. If I were to get paid for it, I would probably be a happier person and a richer person too, but I doubt it would fill the hole inside me. Exactly, that's how I feel. Ooh, this is beautiful. Today was another typical day of a typical failures, typical life. Typical line. And today is the day when I have to go to my university reunion. Ooh, frankly speaking, I really didn't want to. What is the point? The time I spent with them was so short. However, I was persuaded by a friend, my former university mate, and one of the few with whom I kept in touch other than through the internet. I feel you, man. I feel you. I hate reunions. Wow. Yeah, this is really good. Is this Russia? I have a feeling this is Soviet Russia because the developers are Soviet games, so I'm gonna assume. Oh, don't make the noise. Thank you. Ooh. Hello? Does this seem like a horror game suddenly? A frosty evening, bus stop, waiting. Are you rapping, bro? I never liked winter. The hot summer is not my season either. It's just that I see no reason to point out any particular time of the year. It doesn't matter much what the weather is outside when you stay at home 24/7. True. The bus today was running so late that I was about to curse it all and spend my last few hundred rubles for a taxi. The idea of just returning home didn't cross my mind for some reason. As usual, millions of thoughts flew through my mind, but there was not a single useful one to seize on. Such a thought that you could bring into existence, give a shape, turn into an idea, and put into practice. Maybe I could start my own business. But where would I get the money from? Or maybe I could go back to working in an office. No, no way. Maybe I should try freelancing. But what skills do I have and who would want me after all? Dude, this is so fucking relatable. I can't relate to you completely. Like, I don't know what to do. Should I do this? But then I don't have the knowledge. Then I don't have the skill to do it. And then I want to do this, but then I know I'll get bored throughout the process of learning how to do it. So it's just killing me all the time. What should I do? It's fucking. I suddenly remembered my childhood, or rather my teen years, the time when I was 15, 17 years old. The exact time when I played this game and I didn't understand what was going on. Why exactly those years? No idea. I guess it's because back then everything was much more simple. Fuck yeah. It was easy to make decisions, exactly. So complicated now and so simple then. Exactly. Waking up in the morning, I knew exactly how my day was going to pass. And I always eagerly looked forward to the weekend. Then I could get some rest and have time for the things I like, computer, football, going out with friends. This is what? This is exactly how I feel about my early teen. Like not early teen, mid teens, like the 14s, 15s, 16s. Like damn, this is exactly how it is. And then at the beginning of next week, I take up my studies again. Back then, there was no such worrying question like why, who needs it, what will change if I do it, or what will not change. A simple lifestyle so casual for any normal person and so odd to myself today. That careless childhood age. It was also then that I met my first love. Ooh, her appearance and personality have vanished from my memory. Only her name remains, like a brief line from a social network profile, along with the feelings which overwhelmed me when I was with her. Affection, tenderness, the desire to care for her. The desire, sorry, not design, what the fuck? The desire to care for her and protect her. Sadly, it didn't last long. Today, I can hardly imagine something like that happening. Again, okay? I would probably like to meet a girl, but I don't know how to start a conversation. What on earth to discuss and how to attract her? I'm feeling like this is the future me talking to me right now. So this is stupidly relatable. Well, I haven't met any suitable girls for a long time, but where could I meet one anyway? That's a bold question. Oh, here's a bus. Sound of an engine brought me back to reality. A bus pulled over. There was something abnormal about it, I thought. Then again, it doesn't matter. Only the 410 runs this route. Ahoy. Dude, this is so dramatic. Like you're entering the bus of the eternal life. Oh, wow. Wow, this is beautiful. Street lights pass me by. It's as if the cold light sparks inside of me, trying to ignite feelings long dead. Or maybe not ignite, just awaken them. Because those feelings, they have been living in me for a long time, slumbering and waking up again. The driver's radio was playing some very familiar tune, but I wasn't listening to it. I was watching the cars passing by through the fogged up window. Because people are always rushing somewhere, chasing something they need, stuck in their own little worlds. Why would they care about mine? They probably have their own serious problems, or maybe they have much easier lives. You can't know for sure since all people are different. Or are they? Sometimes someone's actions can easily be predicted, but if you try to look inside his soul, you will only see impenetrable darkness. Wow. The bus was approaching downtown, and my thoughts were interrupted by the bright city lights. Hundreds of billboards, thousands of cars, millions of people. I watched this light show, and somehow I got terribly sleepy. Hmm? My eyes closed just for a moment, and then the bus stopped. Question mark. Oh, sorry. Oh God, what did I do? No! Okay, wait, what? Did I mess up? Okay, I'm gonna assume I didn't mess up. Bright daylight struck my eyes. At first, I didn't pay attention as I wasn't fully awake yet. On their own, my legs carried me towards the door. Damn, looks like I fell asleep and missed my stop. Semyon. Okay, my name is Semyon, right? But there was no door. I looked around the bus and realized it wasn't a good old worn out Lias. Instead, the bus was an Icarus model, a new one. I froze in shock. How? What? Am I dead? Have I been kidnapped? No, I must be dead. I patted myself down feverishly, slapped myself painfully in the face a few times, banged my forehead on the back of one of the bus seats. That's too much gore. It's clear, either I'm still alive or you can still feel pain when you're dead. But how could this happen? Maybe I slept for too long and ended up at the bus depot. And then what? Did they put me onto another bus? What? Oh, this is a completely different bus. I rushed out and took a look around. Greenery wherever I looked, tall grass on the roadside, trees, flowers. Summer. But how? It was winter just a moment ago. Oh god. Oh, I remember this now. My head was aching unbearably, as if it was going to explode. Slowly, I began to remember. Ooh. What? A long road running off into the distance. Forests, plains, fields, lakes, and the forests again. I think I was sleeping, but then how can I remember all of it? And then a gap, some girl leaning over me. She softly whispered something into my ear. Then a gap again. And then I woke up here. Who was that strange girl? Or was she just a dream? For some reason, thinking about her made me feel better and calmed me down a little. I felt warmth all over, coming from the inside. Could it be her who brought me here? Then I need to find her. And the best place to look for her is away from here. I rushed to the left, then to the right, then stopped, hesitating over where to go. Finally, I ran in the direction from which the bus had probably came. God, oh wow. This is really nice. Physical exercise does refresh one's mind. Yep. Hey Arise, what's up man? How you doing? Our thoughts become clearer and it gets a little easier to evaluate the surrounding reality. So I'm playing this game called Everlasting Summer. This is like I would say a psychological thriller visual novel, which is really good. And this is like the first visual novel I tried. And I've played this like back 3 to 4 years ago. And I'm playing it again because why not? It's free to play. Not in my case, however. I was sitting on the roadside, wheezing and trying to ease my sore throat by gulping breaths of hot air. Wow. In any case, the run did its job. The fear withdrew for a while. Maybe I really am just dreaming. Though recalling my self-harm on the bus, I immediately rejected the idea. I am neither dreaming nor dead. A narrow road ran through the field and far into the distance. That exact same road from my dream. It must be very far away from home. And it's not just that it was winter yesterday and it's summer now. It's the whole environment. Of course, summer is usually like this, green and hot, but here everything is not entirely lifelike. Everything looks like it was taken from the paintings of Russian landscape artists of the 19th century. The grass is just too lush. The bushes are not like what bushes should be. They are so thick that you can't see anything through them, like treetops, honestly. And the trees themselves, the forest was quite far away, but the trees looked as if they had closed their ranks and were now just waiting for the order to advance onto the fields and plains. Studying for economics paper or oh right, tomorrow's your paper, right? Then when is it ending, by the way? I might be coming this Sunday or maybe Friday, I'm not sure. Friday or Sunday, one of the days I'll be coming. When are you getting free of your exam? I caught my breath and looked at the bus, which was now barely visible. That was a good run. Fear overtook me once again. Those power lines. There must be people here. But what does it mean? In fact, that means nothing at all. Couldn't they have power lines even in hell? I wouldn't say so. Roasting sinners over hot coals. That's so last century. I must have reached the point of no return, after which you should either lose your mind completely or finally try to understand what is going on. I got paper on Friday and Saturday, so yeah. Hopefully, I'll come Sunday, then we'll be able to play Minecraft. You know, some good old Minecraft. After which you should either lose your mind completely or finally try to understand what is going on. And while I still have a choice, I should pick the second Wait, no. Second option, thank you. And PE is on 23rd. When is 23rd? 20, is it next Wednesday or Thursday? I think it's next Wednesday or Thursday. I slowly headed back to the bus. Of course, it was scary, but I'm not likely to find an answer in the fields or the woods. And this is wretched bucket of bolts is the only kind of link that I have with the real world. Oh god, what is this? I should carefully scout the area. A brick wall and its gates crowned with the Sovinok sign statues of pioneers standing on either side and a road sign nearby showing the bus route number 410. Isn't this the same thing from the dream? Like the first sequence of the game? Wednesday? Okay, yeah, it is Wednesday. Good. So yeah, I'll be coming Sunday. Okay, Sovinok means outlet. Where is Sovinok even written? Crowned with a... crowned with the Sovinok sign. Outlet sign. Where is it crowned with an outlet sign? Okay. So yeah, the first sequence in the game, that is actually this exact scene, but it's very blurry and it's at a night and it's a dream, dude. How what? The trip's taking a bit too long today. I smirked. A person may start acting inappropriately in extreme situations. Something like that is probably happening to me now. This place didn't look abandoned at all. No rust on the gates, no damage to the walls. Sovinok. What could have a name like that? Judging by the pioneer statues, it could be a kid's summer camp, which probably it is. Moreover, it appears to be open. Of course, the simplest explanation, logically speaking, explains nothing at all. The strange girl, the altered bus, summer, the pioneer camp. Thousands of theories went through my mind instantly, from alien abduction to lethargic sleep, from hallucination to a time and space shift. I believe it's a time and space shift because it's not possible, bro. Or either this is just a dream. None was worse than any other, but there was really no way to pick a single one. Then it occurred to me. I can try to make a phone call. I took out my cell phone and dialed the first number from my contact list. But instead of signal strength bars, the screen was showing a thick cross. Alright, there may be no signal in such a remote place, though I cannot be the only one who came here. Buses don't drive themselves. I examined the bus from all sides to make sure that it wasn't a hallucination. Bits of dirt on the bottom, some rust here and there, faded paint and worn out tires. No, this is definitely a very ordinary Icarus, whatever the bus's name is. Yeah, exactly the kind of bus which takes you to places beyond your understanding if you can carelessly fall asleep. I gave a nervous chuckle. It came out by itself, sporadically, because this wasn't the right place or time to laugh. But where on earth is the driver? I cautiously sat down on the curb beside the bus and started to wait. My patience didn't last long. My anxiety seemed to have reached its peak and I started to go slightly mad. In such a situation, anyone would have probably felt something similar. Aliens in parallel universe were gone from my imagination, leaving only void and darkness. Is this how everything will end? How my life will end? But I wanted to do so much. There were so many things that I had no time for yet. I was overwhelmed by the idea this was definitely the end. But why? It's not fair. Surely I'm no worse than anyone else. God, why? Good question. Tears were burning my eyes unbearably. I curled up and started rolling in the grass. Why? What did I do? Why me? But my cries were only heard by the speechless statues of the pioneers and the bird on a tree, which immediately flapped its wings and took off, crying out something in its own bird language, as if laughing at the idiot who dared to interrupt its after dinner nap. I was left breathless from weeping and just lay quietly, sobbing occasionally. After a while, I managed to pull myself together, my mind clearing up a bit, as if terror and the fear of death gave me a little break. All in all, if someone wanted to kill me, what is all this for? It doesn't look like an experiment either. If this is just some crazy coincidence, then there's probably no threat. Anyway, for now, it seems there's no danger. Panic was soon gone. Of course, the blood was still pounding in my temples and my hands were still shaking, but at least I could think clearly now. Right now, there is nothing I can really change anyway. So, no matter how much I think or how mad I get, it would only make things worse. Until some actual facts appear, there is really no point in making guesses. In any case, I won't learn anything by lounging about here. Okay, I think it's past noon right now. This camp, if of course it really is a camp, looked like the only place where people could be. So I decided to go there, and hardly had I reached the gates when a girl came out from behind them. Okay, wearing a pioneer uniform. My logic didn't let me down this time. Then again, a pioneer uniform in the 21st century. And then again, a girl here. I froze, unable to take a step. I felt very much like running away, running as far away as I could from this place, far from this bus, gates, statues, and far from this bloody bird which had ceased. Just running free like the wind, faster and faster, waving to the planets passing by, winking at the galaxies, running, becoming a pulsar ray, and turning into vestigial radiation, running to face the unknown. Dude, come on. What? Run no matter where, as long as it is far away from this place. Oh, she's getting close. Meanwhile, the girl came closer and smiled. I could not help but notice her beauty, even though I was trembling with fear. Human instincts work independent of consciousness, and while only 5% of the brain is responsible for cognitive process, the remaining 95% are always busy sustaining life, and in particular, ensuring stable functioning of the hormonal system. Which is true. I desperately wanted to get less complicated and stop thinking about formal quotes from an encyclopedia, though my thoughts appeared one by one, being stupid out of place, as if taken from an internal monologue of the hero of some junky softcover crime fiction book. A pretty Slavic face, long braids that looked like two armfuls of fresh hair, and blue eyes you could drown in. Hi, you must have just arrived. Do not reply, of course. Yeah. Alright then, welcome. She smiled broadly. Strange, it looked as if I had just a normal girl in front of me. Bah, I shouldn't have returned here. The woods and fields seem better. But what shall I do next? Try to speak with her? As if she was a human, or run away, or what? The blood was pumping unbearably in my head, tearing it apart from the inside. A little bit more, and the poor pioneer girl would be splattered with the gruesome contents of my skull. What's so funny about that? The girl looked me over. It sent shivers down my spine, and my knees started to tremble. Nothing. Great then. Great? What's so great about that? Suddenly a thought crossed my mind. To hell with it all. Forget about the bus behind me. The fact that it was winter yesterday and summer today, I wanted to rip off my itchy sweater and just accept that all this is actually happening. Everything is as it should be. All this is for the best. Would you happen to know? You should go to our camp leader. She'll tell you everything. Look, you go straight ahead to the square, then turn left. You'll see several small cabins. She pointed at the gates as if I knew what was behind them. Okay, wait, what? Okay, well, you can ask someone where Olga Dmitrievna's cabin is. Okay, Dimit, what Dmitri? I'm gonna call her Dimitri. Dimitri is a patronymic, a derivative of a person's father's name. In this case, Dmitri, put by Russians after the person's first name as a sign of respect or formal address. Oh, so Ivna. So Dmitrievna's cabin is. I got it. Of course I didn't. Well, I've got to go now. And she fucked off. The girl waved her hand at me and disappeared through the gates. Oh, I've been talking for like 37 minutes. It's gonna kill my throat tomorrow. It seemed as if to her I was something ordinary. And all this show with the bus and the travels while awake or asleep were troubling only to me, while everything here is just the way it is supposed to be. Camp leader, pioneer uniform, what are they doing? A historical reenactment here. I hope I wouldn't find Lenin standing atop an armored cart in the square. But even that would not surprise me right now. After standing alone for a while, I headed into the camp. Oh, I remember this. Oh, then I don't think I've played it just for 6 minutes. I think I've been through the first hour because I remember this particular image. Yeah. A mere 50 meters ahead, a small one-story house popped up on the left side. The sign near the door says clubs. This one? Okay. I was about to come closer. Ooh. When the door suddenly opened and a short girl wearing a pioneer uniform came out. Her pretty face gave me the impression of one suffering for the fate of the whole of mankind with a truly universal sorrow. It's not that bad. As soon as she saw me, the girl froze, as if frightened. I froze too, considering what was the best to do, to approach first or wait until she showed some initiative. Or maybe run away after all. Although this last option was constantly being suggested only by my self-preservation instinct. At least that's what I'd like to believe. Not the worst human instinct, but far from the most logical. If this instinct played poker against deductive abilities, the outcome would be predetermined. Dude, this guy, whoever made this freaking story, is just a genius. The way he just, smooth transitions between, lines, and there's no filler lines. All of the lines make sense. It's just a paranoid actor. It's just a paranoid guy. Oh, what was his name? I forgot his name. It might show up later. And those deductive abilities, or at least their semblance, were hinting to me that there was no need to be afraid of this girl. Ooh, damn, who's this? Suddenly somebody jumped out of nearby bushes. A girl wearing a bright red t-shirt with user writing on it. USSR. Oh, sorry. Oh, that's how you write USSR? Then why is it CCCP? Okay, I think this is a parody kind of thing. Fine. Such a perfect reproduction of the age. What? Such a perfect reproduction of the age. Okay. She looked quite short from a distance and was probably younger than both pioneer girls. The one at the gates and this girl at the door of the clubs. At least I decided to come closer, but the USSR, as I called her in my mind, jumped towards the first girl and started telling her something while widely waving her arms. The other girl in turn seemed confused and lowered her gaze, remaining silent. I would have probably continued to observe their amusing dialogue, but the USSR suddenly pulled something out of her pocket and started waving it in front of me of the first girl's face. Oh god, that's worse. This something turned out to be a grasshopper. Eee! The first girl squealed. She must not be too keen on insects, as she instantly rushed off towards the place where Lenin presumably made his speech about the workers' and peasants' revolution. This is to say, towards the square. Yep. The USSR glanced at me, grinned playfully, and dashed after her. Not a bad start of the day. I have absolutely no clue where I am besides that there are some kids here role playing as pioneers. Role playing? Nah. As far as I can tell, this place is located thousands of kilometers away from my home. It might even be a different reality. And this was indeed a reality. I mean, everything around me seemed so real, if a little embellished, that I was starting to think that in fact my previous life could have been just a dream. That's a theory I have, that maybe this is the reality and all the other shit before that was just a dream. But I don't think that's possible. So this is just a reality shift or whatever. And what am I supposed to do now? I don't know. Maybe blink. I was I was picking at the cracked paving stones with my shoe and staring aimlessly at the club's building. Just few more seconds before I have to come up with some decision. That's when I recall myself rolling on the grass weeping. I cringed in disgust. Perhaps it's another instinct. When all energy for whimpering and self-pitying is used up, the body either goes into hibernation or mobilizes its reserves. Mine seemed to have chosen the second option, because out of the blue I found the determination to figure out what was going on. And in order to do that, I had to act like a man, like a human, to maintain the dignity of a representative of my own world. I followed the path to the left, on the right side of which stood small cabins, apparently the homes of the local pioneers. Actually, they looked quite cozy from the outside. Even though I was born in the Soviet Union, I had never been part of its children's organizations, neither the pioneers nor even the younger October children. I imagined the daily life of a typical pioneer camp a bit differently. Huge barracks with long rows of metal bunks. Wake up call at 6 o'clock played by a siren. 1 minute to make your bed, then joining the formation at the drill square. That sounds quite fun, actually. That reminds me, are you still there in the chat? Rise, or anyone new who's watching the stream? Or wait, could I be confusing it with something else? Oh, what? Suddenly something struck me in the back. I staggered but remained on my feet, turned around and prepared to fight heroically for my life. Oh, okay, but all I found was another girl standing before me. My mouth hung open in surprise. Pick your jaw up off the ground. I closed my mouth. The same pioneer uniform, but the way she was wearing it looked, let's say, provocative. Like all the girls I had met before, this one was rather cute, but her overly arrogant expression killed any desire to get to know her better. New here, are you? Semyon, sorry. Fine, see ya. She threw a threatening glance at me and walked past. I waited for the pioneer girl to turn at the corner. Who knows what else she might have been up to. The most interesting thing was that even this hostile girl seemed completely normal to me. She did not give off the feeling of some deadly danger, except maybe the danger of getting punched in the nose. Ooh. At least I managed to make it to the square. There was no Lenin or an armored car, although one could easily expect something like that after all this had happened. Instead, however, a monument to a certain comrade towered in the middle of the square. The letters on the pedestal read GNDA. I'm not gonna try to spell that. Must be some big figure in the party. There were some small benches at the sides. It's quite pleasant here. Where did the girl tell me to go? To the left or to the right? To the left, to the left, to the right, to the left, to the right. And why am I going there anyway? Alright, I've decided to pretend to be normal. So to the right. Wow. Through a small groove. I came out at a pier. I must have taken a wrong turn. Hey, wrong way. I turned towards the voice. Provocative. That first girl stood before me. Now, what did I tell you? Take a left at the square, wasn't it? She had changed from her pioneer uniform into a bikini. Oh, I still haven't introduced myself. My name is Slavia. Too much of a Slavic name, but actually, my full name is Slaviana, but everyone calls me Slavia. So you can too. Yeah. I still felt a bit confused, so I could not come up with more meaningful answers. And what's your name? It felt like she could see right through me. Yeah, Simeon. Nice to meet you, Simeon. Alright, I'm almost done here. Could you wait here a minute? I'm going to change and we'll go to Olga Dmitrievna together. Agreed? Agreed. After this exchange, she ran off. I sat on the pier and let my feet hang into the water. I was wearing heavy winter boots, but in such weather there was nothing wrong with in getting my feet wet. Furthermore, it let me cool myself a little bit. Looking at the river, it was brainstorming and processing everything that has happened. If this is some kind of conspiracy, it's a weird one, even too friendly at times. No, it really looks more like a random event. Some entirely incomprehensible random event, yeah. Shall we go? Slavia was standing beside me, dressed in the pioneer uniform again. Let's go. I've been here for a very short time, but all of the people I've met, she looks the least suspicious. However, this fact is already suspicious itself. Is this like Doki Doki Literature Club? I don't want this to turn into a horror visual novel. Please, it's really fine right now. Thriller, psychological, drama, whatever. Don't make it horror. We walked to the square. Oh, these two girls. The USSR girl and the girl who hit me in the back were there, chasing each other. Is that some kind of game they're playing? Ulyana, enough running. I'll tell everything to Olga. Aye, Captain. And who's Ulyana? I think it's the red one, the USSR one. I decided not to question Slavia for a while about what was going on or the local residents. Better meet with this mysterious Olga first. Sounds like she's the boss here. We walked past the rows of almost identical cabins, some of which looked like fat bear barrels, while others looked more like household sheds. Finally, Slavia stopped in front of a smallish one-story cabin. It looked like an artist's painting. The faded paint, chopping here and there with age, was sparkling in the sun. The window shutters, slightly ajar, was swaying almost unnoticeably in the wind, and huge lilac bushes were growing. Lilac? You mean this one? I don't know what this is called. Lilac bushes were growing at the sides. You know what? Let's just see what lilac. How do you pronounce lilac? Wait, can you say it again? Lilac. Say it again? Lilac. Oh, a Eurasian shrub or small tree of the olive family which has fragrant violet, pink or white blossom. There's a mix of pink and violet over here and is a popular garden ornamental. A lilac, okay. And huge lilac bushes were growing at the sides. It seemed as if this ramshackle hut was drowning in a storm of purple silk, and the lilacs, like some elemental force, were inexorably destroying the troop leader's house. This is so much. You remove the visuals, and this is a complete novel. Like, it's well put together for a visual novel. What are you standing around for? Let's go. Slavia snapped me out of my daydreaming. And stop teasing, Lena, already. Oh! What? Rena? Sounds like there's someone inside me. Oh god, I don't want horror. Oh, don't ask for this. God. Damn. I don't know why, but I do remember this a little bit. but not completely, and I don't remember it being a horror thing. Indeed, a moment later, the door swung open and Uliana ran out and dashed past with the same mischievous grin, not green, dude. The the pigtailed girl came out next. Don't let it bother you, Lena. Oh, this is Lena. So her name is Lena. Gotta be thankful it's not Rena at least. Oh god. But I don't. Instead of finishing her sentence, she blushed and quickly headed towards the square. For some reason, I felt like turning and following her with my eyes, but Slavia said, "Come." We entered the cabin. Inside it looked something similar to what I'd imagined. Two beds, a table, a couple of chairs, a simple carpet on the floor, a wardrobe. Nothing special, but at the same time it felt home-like and cozy. Although this room was almost in the same state of disorder as my own. The girl standing near the window appeared to be about 25 years old. Nature had obviously gifted her with a pretty face and a good body. At least one thing can keep you happy in this pandemonium. The locals are beautiful. Camp leader, you're finally here. Excellent. My name is Olga. I'm the camp leader. Nice to meet you. I'm Semyon. I decided to talk as if I wasn't surprised by anything that was going on. She came closer. We've been expecting you since early morning. You've been expecting me? Yes, of course. And when does the next bus come? And why do you need it? Yeah, right. Why would I need it? Guess I shouldn't ask direct questions. The people here may react to them quite unlike how I'd prefer. And I doubt I'd get any answers. No reason, just curious. By the way, where are we exactly? A mailing address, I mean. I wanted to send a letter to my parents to tell them that I got here fine. For some reason, I had the desperate idea that if I played along, I would find something out. Oh, but your parents called just half an hour ago. Send their regards to you. Now that's a surprise. So, can I call them? Because I forgot to tell them something before I left. No. She gave me a sweet, spontaneous smile. Why not? We don't have a phone here. Then how could my parents make a call here? I've just come back from the district's central town. I talked with them there. Ah, so that's how it is. And can I somehow get to the town? No. She kept the same smile. Why not? Because the next bus only comes in a week. I decided not to inquire how the troop leader managed to get there and back. I would get no answers anyway. Okay, at this time Slavia was standing next to me and seemed to find nothing odd in our conversation. We need to find a uniform for you. I've got absolutely no desire to put on pioneer shorts or to wear the ridiculous red neckerchief. What is that even thing? This looks super weird. At first, I thought this was like a hair extension, but then I realized her hair is not red. She's blonde, and this is this kind of red-orange thing, and it looks pretty weird. However, wearing winter clothes in summer isn't a great idea either. Right, thank you. I wonder if I'm the only one here who finds it strange that someone's wearing a coat and winter boots in such heat. Righty, I'll be off then, and you can get yourself acquainted with the camp. Don't forget to come to dinner in the evening. Having said that, she walked out of the cabin. No, walked is not the right word. She rushed up. I ended up alone with Slavia. I must go too. Got things to do. Take a walk, look around the camp a bit. See you in the evening. If there is no threat or catch to this, then this reality, as embodied by Slavia, becomes more and more appealing. For the first time today, I realized that it was awfully hot here, although obviously my winter clothes were to blame for that. I took off my coat and dropped it onto the bed. My pullover followed it. I was now wearing only the shirt. That's much better. All I could do now was follow their advice and go look around the camp. I'll try to find something out in the meantime. Passing the local residential district, I saw a pioneer guy coming my way. Okay. And it was really a pioneer guy, not a pioneer girl. Apparently, there were men even in the kingdom of Amazons. Hello, you're new here. You must be Semyon, right? And how do you... Everyone knows already. I'm electronic. By the way, the real one. You can call me that. Electronic was a robot character appearing in the popular Soviet film and book series. He looked like an exact copy of a school kid called Sergei Chizkov. Electronic, the real one. Things were going from crazy to completely insane. Alright. Uliana also calls me Cheesy. Cheesy on toast with mushrooms because my last name is Chezovok or Cheesecog, whatever. I see. Let me show you around. I accepted his offer as it would have taken much longer to get to know this place alone. Fine, let's go. We ended up at the square again, as if this place was all there is to this camp. Lena was sitting on one of the benches reading some book. Electronic confidently approaches her. Okay, I think this is... I don't think I've played through this part. I think the first 40-50 minutes is what I've already played. I think this is quite new to me. Hello Lena, meet the new guy Semyon. He started briskly. Hello. Well, you could say we've already met in a way. Yes. She looked away from the book for a moment, glanced at me, blushed and went back to reading, as if not noticing that we were still there. Alright, let's go on. I was at first surprised that meeting this girl was reduced to a couple of words, but then I thought that it was better that way. Electronic's vigorous activity did not fit well with Lena's shyness. Let's go. Next, we came to a building which I instantly identified as a canteen. Yep, it looks like one. And this here, I know, this is where you consume organic food. Yeah, something like that. On the canteen's porch stood the unfriendly girl who hit me on the back earlier. At the sight of her, my joking mood vanished in the blink of an eye. Really, now is not the best time to be pulling this guy's leg, even though he is quite hilarious. First, I need to figure out what's what here, or at least where I am. Her, over there, that's Alisa. Be careful around her. He spoke in a whisper. Don't ever risk calling her Twash. She doesn't like it. Okay. Dwa means... Okay, yeah, two, I figured that. In Russian, the whole nickname sounds exactly like Tuch. Tuch in Russian. A reference to the late the Chan. Whatever. What did you say? What did you call me? She must have heard him. In the blink of an eye, Alicia jumped down from the porch and dashed towards us. Alright, you'll manage from here onwards. Electronic took to his heels. Do nothing. Oh. Alicia, running past, stopped for a moment and growled. I'll deal with you later. Deal with me? What did I do wrong? I added a guilty smile to my words. But what am I guilty of? She made no reply and carried on chasing Electronic. Okay, no, never mind. I remember the cafeteria scene now. A little bit, just a little bit. It's very fading memory. I don't know why. Maybe just because I wasn't getting the exact point of a visual novel, but fine. Looks like I'll have to kill the time alone waiting for dinner. I decided to go east, at least in the direction where east would be in my world. Soon after, no, stop. How do I save it? Is this a save option? Yep, this is the same. Okay, I'm gonna save it here. Okay. Whew. All right. This is all I'm gonna play for now because that's a lot of information to digest. And yeah, I'll continue this tomorrow, and hopefully I'll be able to play more of it tomorrow than I'll be able to play it now because I started the stream quite late. And yeah, I'll probably start it very early tomorrow, and we'll be able to play like back-to-back 2 or 3 hours of at least gameplay. And I'm hoping to complete this game by the end of next week. I guess depends. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for joining in, and yeah, I'll see you later. Bye bye.